Earlier today, a video started to go viral showing Joe Biden getting in the face of a union auto worker. And actually, it sounds like he says, you want to go outside, like actually fight. He says the guy is full of S and a horse's A. I can't swear. But here is the Democratic frontrunner cussing in the face of a union auto worker because he's concerned that Biden wants to take his guns away. And here's the best part. Biden does. He said he does. And once again, the media is lying and covering for this guy who can't talk straight, doesn't know where he is, insults voters, tells them to vote for other people. Yet this is supposed to be the best they could muster. They've lost the plot, man. They've completely lost it if they are propping this guy up. From the Daily Mail, you're full of S. Joe Biden in furious confrontation with union worker over guns as he campaigns in key battleground of Michigan. Joe Biden told a Michigan plant, okay, I think they're auto workers. I could be wrong. A Michigan plant worker he was full of S and to not be such a horse's A after the man accused the former vice president of being anti-Second Amendment and wanting to take Americans' guns away. With Democratic voters from Michigan and 5 other states heading to the polls as part of Super Tuesday 2, Biden was visiting a Fiat Chrysler plant in Detroit Tuesday morning before heading to Ohio, where he'll watch results come in and address supporters. In video captured by CBS News, a man dressed in a hard hat can be heard telling Biden he's actively trying to end our Second Amendment right and take away our guns. Biden then snaps, calls the guy names. Biden then responded with an expletive. Bravo, good sir, good work. Now, I will say, to be honest, there's a lot of reasons why people like Donald Trump being kind of a mean dude. But let me tell y'all something. When Donald Trump calls Rosie O'Donnell a fat pig or something. That's Rosie O'Donnell. She's rich and famous. Joe Biden insults regular working people. That's a big difference. Okay, you don't insult your voters. As another individual jumps in, Biden can be heard telling the person, shush, I support the Second Amendment. He then explained that, like yelling fire in a building, the First Amendment freedoms, Second Amendment freedoms are also not absolute. You can, in fact, yell fire in a building. At least that's my understanding. I used to think this too. A bunch of people got mad at me and said, Tim, you're wrong. Look it up. And apparently, yeah, you can actually yell fire in a crowded building. I didn't know that. It's not incitement. He says he has a shotgun, a 12 gauge. His sons hunt. Guess what? You're not allowed to own any weapons. Wait, what? You're not allowed to own any weapons? I'm not taking your guns away at all. Do you need 100 rounds? The plant worker stood his ground saying, I did not say that. That's not, stood his ground. I did not say that. That's not true, Biden responded. I did not say that. Okay, so guys need a copy editor. The guy basically said there's a viral video of you, Joe, saying you want to take away our guns. And Joe's like, that's not true. Joe's lying. It exists. I'll show you. The worker responded that he saw Biden make the comments limiting gun ownership in a video. Well, it's a viral video like the other ones that they're putting out, which are simply a lie. Biden then said he would take AR-14s. He meant AR-15s. The dude literally can't talk. Why are we having a conversation about this guy? It is maddening. Don't be such a horse's A, Biden told the man before walking away. The man was likely referencing a video Biden made with former Democratic hopeful Beto O'Rourke. That may be the case. That video was not Joe Biden saying he was going to take your guns away. That was him saying he was threatening Beto's wife. I'm going to take Beto because we need him for this fight. But there is a video of Joe Biden saying we're going to take your guns away. I'll show you in a second. Sitting down at Whataburger, he says, yeah, okay, here's what they say. If I'm warning Amy, if I win, I'm coming for him, Biden said. Because O'Rourke had previously said on the Democratic debate stage, hell yes, we're going to take away your AR-15s. The clip was widely misinterpreted as Biden making the same promise, but it doesn't matter. If Beto O'Rourke says, yes, I'm coming for your weapons, and then Biden says, and I'm going to hire him for my campaign, what do you think people are going to assume? Joe, you're full of it. You're a liar, and you got an ego problem. At a Dallas rally where O'Rourke made his endorsement, Biden also pledged to put the Texan in charge of gun control. Duh. You're going to take care of the gun problem with me. You're going to be the one who leads the effort, Biden said. So I think we all get it. Now, let me show you how people respond. Ryan Grimm said, there's a reason the entire Democratic Party structure from elites to the voters had concluded as of a few weeks ago, Biden was unelectable. Also, it's not AR-14, Joe, but whatever. Ryan Grimm works for The Intercept. They're very pro-Bernie. Now, this to me is fairly obvious why Joe's unelectable. He literally has told his own supporters at his events go vote for someone else. Go vote for Trump. I'm not exaggerating. He's like, oh, if you don't like it, well, why don't you go vote for Trump? No. You compromise. You don't say go vote for the other guy. Calm down, Joe. Check this out. Doug Hay, CNN political commentator and Wall Street Journal contributor, former Burr RNC campaign, said, I don't think this is going to hurt Biden. And then we have this guy, director of rapid response for Joe Biden, tweets, we will literally pay them to keep promoting it. They're laughing now, saying that, oh, look, haha, all the Republicans are putting out this video of Joe Biden saying, you're full of it. Why would that help Joe Biden? And why would you pay for them to promote this? Because it doesn't. Listen, here's the best part. Do they think that Joe Biden saying you're full of it is him standing up for himself, him standing up for gun regulation? I don't understand, because in the clip, the guy says, you're going to take away our weapons. And he goes, no, I'm not. I'm for the Second Amendment. Okay, so why would Democrats like that? Why would that be good for Democrats? He then goes on to call the guy a horse's A and says he's full of S and take it outside. It sounds like he's saying take it outside. Why would anyone like that? That's ridiculous. So, this is exactly what I was talking about the other day on my main channel when I said they're in a bubble they can't see out of. They frame the world based on things that make sense to them instead of what's actually happening. Let me break this down for you. Joe Biden, frontrunner presidential candidate, angrily confronted a union auto worker, insulting him and telling, almost threatening him if what I hear is, if what he's saying was take it outside, challenging the guy to a fight essentially, because the guy called him out based on a video that, I kid you not, shows Joe Biden saying, yes, we're going to take your guns. Check it out. Here's a quote. Biden lies to this worker and claims that he never said he would take away guns. Last August, he said exactly that about many popular rifles. Quote, to gun owners out there who say, well, a Biden administration means they're going to come for my guns. That was, I believe, Anderson Cooper saying it. Bingo. You're right. He says, if you have an assault weapon. Guess what? Assault weapon doesn't mean anything. The definition keeps changing. They keep trying to, pass new bills, and the definition doesn't mean anything. In one instance, this was back a couple years ago, one of the iterations of the bills they were trying to pass, a handgun, like the one the police use, would be considered an assault weapon. So that doesn't mean anything, Joe. You're just saying we're gonna arbitrarily define your weapons, then come take them away. Regardless, he did say, bingo, we're gonna come take your guns. Bingo, you're right. I'm sorry. In response to whether they're gonna take your guns away. Why would anyone think this is going to work? What I don't understand about the Democrats. No. I'm sorry. I took that back. I do get it. They're in a bubble. They can't see out. They frame things because they live on Twitter. It's the weirdest thing. Now, Joe Biden is the least on Twitter of all the Democrats, but yeah, they live in this fictional world. It's not real life. The marketing people, I guess. You know what? I think this is a really good example. This guy, Andrew Bates, we will literally pay them to keep promoting it. You would pay to promote a video of your candidate insulting a union worker, a working class dude? Why? You think that would play well? Do you not realize the people on Twitter are a tiny, tiny fraction of this country? It's around 2.2% of the U.S. population that is active on Twitter. And you would pay to promote a video of a union worker being berated by multimillionaire Joe Biden, who's lying to him and says, take it outside? You people have lost. You have lost the plot. If you think this will work, listen. This auto worker, that's the working class guy you're trying to convince, the union guy. The Democrats are no longer the party of unions. I have no idea what's going on. Now, of course, that's hyperbolic. You've got union people voting for Bernie Sanders far and wide. That's true. But Joe Biden, the establishment, I have no idea what they're representing. It was back in 2016, Vox reported that the Democratic Party became the party of the wealthy. So I'm not surprised now to see union areas, union cities, like union voters switching to Donald Trump. Like, how do you think that guy feels? And what do you think he's going to do now when he goes and talks to all his friends? He was angry about the Second Amendment, the overreaching, control measures he doesn't like. And he asked Joe. And Joe could have said to him very calmly, hey, listen, man, you may have heard a lot about me, but I'll tell you this right now. I'm going to make sure that I do right by you, but I do want to limit these things. He could have said it calmly. Pete Buttigieg, when he was still running, was asked about pro-life, pro-choice, And he said, he gave a good answer, in my opinion, the best he could have done as someone who's pro-choice, saying, I know we don't agree, but I do hope that you would choose me to do what I think is right. And I'm like, well, she probably won't. She was unhappy, but that was the end of it. It was a disagreement. Joe Biden approaches these people by yelling at him, by insulting him. Look, fat. I don't know if he actually intended to call the guy fat, but his gaffes are getting out of line, right? Joe Biden cannot be president. He will not win. And if he does, I'll tell you what, I will laugh harder than I've ever laughed. I will laugh harder if he wins than if Trump won, because people would actually want this guy who, look, in my opinion, he's facing harsh cognitive decline. He is not all there. He can't handle it. You want to yell at people and be mean? Yell at the elites. That's what Trump does. He attacks the media, people in positions of power. And his base loves it because they feel like for once the bully's on their side, going after the bad guys, going after the elites, the people of privilege. Joe Biden's doing the opposite. He's a mean dude yelling at the workers. If you think that's going to win, you're nuts, man. I'll leave it there. Stick around. Next segment's coming up in a few minutes, and I will see you all shortly.